What is up, YouTube? Boxing Now on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Adrien Broner in action on Saturday night. And to be honest with you, I had no interest in this fight. And I wasn't going to watch this fight until my ESPN app went down. I could not get the fight I wanted to watch over on ESPN Plus, which we all know what that is. So I had to tune in to Adrien Broner versus Jovanie Santiago. So, this fight was the main event on Showtime Boxing. And, I mean, how many chances can you give this guy? One, inside the ring, where he hasn't performed. He just doesn't throw punches. He's not an entertaining fighter. He does not bring that aggressive style to the ring. He sits back and looks to counter. Add that with his poor behavior outside the ring, and you have a guy that is all of a sudden fighting on a main event card on ShowBox. So he's done nothing right outside the ring. He's underperformed in the ring. We have Steven Espinoza and his friends bailing him out. He needs money. They give him money, and they make him the headline of a PBC card on Showtime. Now, don't get it twisted. He has underperformed in the ring. And when you have his ego, his attitude, and you go out and you talk all this shit and you don't back it up, nobody has any sympathy for you, bro. It's just the way it is, man. And then just his conduct outside the ring, nobody really wants to see that, especially from a guy who is not performing. So, Showtime bails him out, gives him the fight tonight against unknown Jovanie Santiago. So let's get into the highlight recap. So through the first two rounds of this fight, I got exactly what I thought I was going to get. A lackluster performance to start for the first two rounds. We see Broner coming out. He didn't land a single punch in the first round. And in his last round with Manny Pacquiao, he landed one punch. So in his last two rounds, he's landed one punch. So you have AB sitting back, waiting for Santiago to attack. Santiago's not attacking. And then you have Broner sitting back, waiting to counter. So you have a very boring fight through two rounds. That being said, I have it 1-1 through two. I thought Broner was able to land a couple clean shots in round two to win him that round. And Santiago, by default, wins round one. So I'd like to think it's the inactivity of Broner that is affecting his punch output, but we know that's not the case. It's just his style. He's not putting really any effort forward as far as a offensive attack here. He's sitting back waiting to counter, while Santiago is applying pressure, and he won round three, and he won round four until he punched Broner after the bell. And in his defense, Broner smacked him after the bell. So it was just the fact that Santiago's came after Broner's. He loses a point in a round I think that he won. So we'll make that an even round. And to this point, I have the underdog, Santiago, winning the fight. Broner's just not putting anything forth offensively. Just sticking a jab and waiting to counter. And it's just a very boring performance to this point. Now, Adrien Broner has always been a slow starter. He always comes out of the gate slow, inactive, and then that inactivity kind of lingers in the middle rounds, and then he typically turns it up in the late rounds, usually at a point when he's down on the scorecards. This fight, I had Santiago actually up a round heading into the 12th and final round, in what was a pretty boring fight. There were flashes of the old AB that we saw throughout. When he wanted to throw his hands and he threw his hands, he looked pretty good at certain points. I think round 10 was the best round of the fight for him, and he looked good. But in round 12, so actually I take that back because I forgot to deduct the point from Santiago for the late punch. So I had it even going into the last round. And in the last round, I thought that Santiago did enough in the round to win the round. So I had Santiago winning the fight by a point in what was a pretty boring fight, but one which showed flashes of somewhat decent boxing from Broner, I guess. So the scorecards are in, and to no surprise, unanimous decision win for Adrien Broner. How could you see it going any other way? PBC event, Showtime, unknown guy, puts up a good performance, a fight I think he wins. And you have a scorecard that says 117, 110 Broner, 116, 111 Broner, and 115, 112 Broner. So I obviously don't agree with those scorecards. Nonetheless, if you could see this go into the scorecards, you knew it was going to happen. And there you have it. What do you guys want to see next for Adrien Broner? Were you satisfied with his performance tonight? I sure was not. Leave a comment below. Thanks.